She's not going to go on a diatribe. She'll just say, no,
I thought you were going to say she's not going to go on a diet.
She's not going to go on a diet.
No matter how many times I tell her.
Oh, God.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Autopod Decepticast. This is your weekly podcast that delivers a minute-by-minute breakdown of the 1986 Transformers movie. This is episode 77, and we are covering the 1 hour, 16 minute, and 1 second to the 1 hour and 17 minute mark. This is your host, Aaron, and I'm here with my two co-hosts. Well, guys, I gotta get this off my chest. I'm the one that's always given up the love anytime these gentlemen need it, but then they just turn their back and they're off running with the crowd. I'm the one to sacrifice anything to please them, and I gotta say, I don't think they think about me when they're out. And check this out, it was only late last night. They were out there sneaking. Then they had the gall to call to check that I was waiting by the phone. All the world is a candy store, and these jerks have definitely been trick-or-treating. Frankly, when it comes to true love, girl, with these guys, there's no one home. Please introduce yourselves, you two cold-hearted snakes.
He's been fooling around. I'm Ryan.
I'm Caleb.
Caleb still is not connecting.
Nope.
All right, that's okay. Of course, it's Paula Abdul, cold-hearted
Oh,
snake.
That-
look into his eyes.
That video was in heavy rotation for my early masturbation.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said it, because I had a note here to say that.
Oh my
and
God.
now I didn't have to say it.
For our younger listeners, there was this thing. Was it The Box? Was that the channel?
The box,
Yeah.
the paid MTV.
Yeah, basically where you could call a 1-900 number and request a video, and it was on TV. And that I taped it off of that channel, and used to play the part where she they're all grinding and she's
Right.
making sexual noises and.
Right.
Oh, I made the jism.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was definitely she was a major influence on my adolescence as well. I feel like every time it came on, I also grew a new pube. Allegedly, the song, the video is really wacky because I don't actually understand it. I assume it's supposed to be they're performing or auditioning.
I think it's
for
an
some
audition. I think it's a
record
parody of something,
executives.
actually.
Yeah. I think
And these executives show up to the scene, and then they give an amazing sexual dance performance and singing, and they even have a freaking string section in there, and it's amazing. And then by the end of it, the record executives are kind of shocked and
Scandalized, but they're all turned on.
don't know what to say about it. Which, I mean, what were they expecting? Allegedly, this song was written about John Stamos.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. That's what they say on the internet.
I did not know that.
Yeah, let's just get some clips there. Like that outfit of
Oh
hers.
my God, yeah.
I mean,
She's so very attractive.
yeah, Paula Abdul was the it.
I feel like she's still attractive. I fear
she's-
I've heard she's that move. There we go. Oh, female superior.
I don't know how I feel about the giant dictator's hat she's wearing.
I'm into it.
So, yeah, I'm fine with that.
It's I wanted to fuck him Bison.
All right, so we get it.
Oh,
Hot
now-
stuff.
Yeah.
Hot
yeah.
oh wait,
when
now
they close
things are
the
getting really
blinds is
crazy.
when it gets super sexy. Mm-hmm. This is the part where they're on the scaffolding, all like writhing.
Was that Kenny G?
Yes.
Doom, doom,
I
doom,
feel like I remember her
doom,
being
doom.
more naked.
I mean, that's pretty naked.
It's true, it's mesh, but I feel like I'm remembering a bare midriff, not just covered in mesh, but maybe that's just because I'm doing fan fiction. Those noises were always good.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Hang on,
right
let's
there.
watch that
It's
again.
just straight up pretend sex. Like it's
is
dry.
like
It's just dry humping.
This is like those crazy Jamaican dances that you see, like those like kind of dance hall where they're basically just banging.
Yeah, here it. Yeah, grasping. Another early masturbatory tool was Janet Jackson's song. God, what was it? I can't remember, but there's one song of hers where she gasps, or no, she goes, like at one point, and I had that cassette, and I would rewind it and play it over and over until I came.
I think that'd take a lot of, like, are you jerking with one hand and playing the tape recorder with
That's
the other?
not how I jerked off. Like, up until just a couple of years ago, the way I would jerk off was to press my body on the floor and, like, hump the floor. So I had my hands free.
Wow, I've never been able to do that. That's impressive.
It's quite a technique. Well, at least you won't have carpal tunnel.
Yeah, I do it the normal way now.
All right, well, but you're way behind the rest of us.
It's true. It's true.
So the thing I don't understand is, like, this... I mean, it's a pretty sexual music video, but there's no reason these people should be so shocked. This is still pop music. There was lots of sexual stuff going on. That's what sells, baby.
What'd you think? It was nice.
The dancers laugh.
All
right.
Yeah.
Paula Abdul.
Good stuff.
Everybody, get caught up on that if you
get up on that.
Never heard of it before.
I'll put that video on the website.
Hey, guess what? Let's transition to. We've got a little shout out, a little pat on the back that on iTunes that we haven't gotten
Always
in a
happy
little
to
while.
get props.
And so it pleasures me, and I must say in a non-sexual kind of way.
Wait, let me get on the floor.
To tell you two that our iTunes shout out comes courtesy of a new friend of the show, Mr. David Cabal. I hope to God I'm pronouncing that correctly. Cable?
El Cabal.
Cabal?
Cabal?
I don't know, man.
I think it's probably.
You'll let us know.
I think it's Cabal.
And he is at Dave Cabal on Twitter, and he puts out lots of fun Transformers-related content and commentary. And I don't know if you guys do this. I'm sure you do. That thing where you dive deep into somebody's Twitter account and you're cycling through a person's old content.
I like how you call it diving instead of creeping.
Well, that's exactly what it is. But, I mean, you realize you're liking content that they produced months and months ago, and that they're going to totally know that that's exactly what you were doing.
As an old person, I have seen that is a joke on the social media that people do that. I've never done that, but yes.
All right, well,
I've heard of this activity.
Well, I do it all the time. As I was Twitter stalking, it made me realize I want to rewatch seasons 1 through 3 because he has a lot of references to those seasons, and I just haven't watched them in forever. So maybe that'll be the next Autopod Decepticast.
We should watch them together.
What? It's never.
What do you mean? What? Where'd you go?
I don't know. Sorry.
What?
At any rate,
are we recording yet? Sorry.
I thought I was present. I wasn't.
Dave, so Dave just recently.
We need to take you to a neurologist.
I know. You really did just completely blink out. Actually, I didn't see you blank out. No, I saw you like blink back in.
It was like one of those gifs where like Caleb EXE has.
But my reaction wasn't just like, huh? It was like, what?
Shocked.
Like
it was like you woke up.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh my God. Okay.
Anyway, I was just gonna share David's little review for it, which was very complimentary. Finally, a podcast dedicated to Transformers the movie, specifically 1986. Aaron, Ryan, and Caleb are genuinely funny. Two things I love about this podcast is that they've known each other since childhood for 30 years and they're true fans of Transformers. Love your collection, Aaron. This is definitely a party podcast of honest laughs and fun segments. They're not afraid to be themselves after dark with Ryan.
Oh, God.
Or mess up. Which,
oh no!
By the way, I don't remember ever messing up, ever.
Nope. It's all smooth sailing.
I just don't remember certain things at all.
What?
Yeah.
So, but these are down-to-earth moments that I really love. This is truly a passion project come to life. It's almost dying, but my ultimate favorite thing to do is jam out to their amazing theme song. Great job, Caleb. I hope you guys make it available soon. I'll buy it, please. In conclusion, I hope these guys continue to do more and hope to meet them one day. Your pal, David Cabal. What a sweetheart.
Very
That was nice.
Very comprehensive.
Very kind. Certainly more than we deserve.
Always happy when After Dark gets a shout out.
I hate that. I hate it when it gets a shout out.
I know, everybody but me hates it.
But his comments here reminded me that, guys, this isn't a podcast about Transformers the movie. This is a podcast about friendship.
Yes.
Friendship is magic.
Yes.
Okay, so speaking of friendship and speaking of meeting people in
yep.
person,
Nice segue.
This a little reminder that we'll be at TFCon 2018, and not only will we be there, we'll be hosting our very own event, which our pitch document called Mental Movie Moments. I don't know that we've settled on that. Sooner or
I don't
later,
even know
that's
what
gonna
we're
be
calling. If
published.
this is an event or it's
Or a panel.
or a program, but it's a thing.
More like a variety show.
It kind of is. It's a presentation of sorts.
Yeah, sure. We'll be revisiting a handful of the most memorable and questionable moments from our favorite movies.
Yes.
And we'll probably be revisiting some of our favorite script moments in Deviation. Caleb is going to live out his Bob Barker fantasy with some audience interactive game show moments. I guess I
Yes.
just signed you up for hosting duties.
We'll see. I mean, we've got some. We'll see. We've got some friends coming, which we're going to be joined by Mike Seibert. He's coming too. We're
Yep.
looking forward to seeing him, and we've done some collaborations. And he's got such a great voice. I think he would make a great person to have the Bob Barker role. But we'll see what happens.
All right. Okay, so at this point, we are pretty sure we're going to be doing this on Sunday the 28th. We don't know the exact time or timing yet, but we've been working on the content this last couple of weeks. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, but I can tell it's going to be
Pretty great.
a fun time. So we're also working to produce some great merchandise. We've got original art, t-shirts, posters.
Hopefully, we can sell it there.
a few other tchotchkes. We haven't really figured all those logistics out yet.
Keychains, beer koozies.
But if they're not
Paperweights.
available at the conference, we will. I think we'll finally be able to have
Pimp our shop.
finally
Put stuff up on the shop
after
on
the
our
podcast
website.
is over.
Our timing is great.
yeah.
So that's TFCon USA, Chicago, October 26 to 28, Crown Plaza, Chicago, right over by the airport.
Yep.
Be there and be square.
Join us.
And Mike Seibert.
By the way, also, in case you haven't noticed, I had a bit of a cold, so I know that I sound a little more stuffed up than usual. And if you hear me coughing or just I sound a little more nasal, that's how it's going to be for the next 3 episodes, baby.
So if you hadn't noticed, now you can focus on it.
Yeah. Don't
you
want
were
to
looking at me like I was making a mistake.
No, I was just like,
Well, there we
was.
go. Oh, yeah.
but now it's totally drawn to their attention. So
Good.
Yep.
Good. That's all I wanted. All right, last episode recap. The Junkions and their ship were compacted and taken to the curb.
It's brilliant.
And we kicked off the title card of the century. It's Hot Rod, Galvatron, Battle to the Death. Find out who's got the touch this very episode.
Oh my God.
So we kick things off right at the top of this minute with Galvatron continuing to throttle Hot Rod. Ryan, I don't know if you've got a good Galvatron voice and you want to do this?
First Prime, then Ultra Magnus, and now you. It's a pity you Autobots die so easily, or I might have a sense of satisfaction. Now.
That's cold.
So that's a great iconic line there. And as they struggle, Hot Rod manages to get his hands around the Matrix. As he touches it, it responds and begins glowing a bright, shimmering blue. And we start to get the mystical power rock
yeah.
reprise of the touch.
Now, again, we bring this up all the time, or I do, but like, just imagine if these were humans, like if like Serpentor were choking Duke to death. Like,
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some fucked up stuff that happens in G.I. Joe, the movie.
It's true. I mean, he does get stabbed in the chest, but like,
Yeah.
that's
With
Cobra Commander gets turned into a
a
pathetic
fucking snake man.
reptile.
Yeah.
I mean, Homer chokes out Bart all the time.
That's true.
It's played for
That's
comedic
more
effect.
adult,
It's like
oriented as well.
it's domestic abuse hilarity. But yeah, I guess it's just striking. And like you can also, I mean, like I said last episode, you can hear Hot Rod's neck creaking as
Yeah.
he chokes him.
Yeah. So here we got the touch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love this minute.
So Hot Rod at this point snatches the Matrix from the chain around Galvatron's neck. He performs a little somersault and he stands. At this point, the Matrix glows even more strongly. We hear the voice of Optimus Prime commanding Hot Rod to arise as Rodimus Prime. And he does, the power of the Matrix causes Hot Rod to grow, I'd say by some 30% or
Sure.
so in height and girth.
Yeah, he's thick.
So I had to dissect this a little bit, and I'll rewind it, because I never really got the physics of how Hot Rod became disengaged from Galvatron.
I think he puts his leg into it.
Yeah,
doesn't
that's what. Yeah, best I can tell, that's what happens here, and I just never could really tell that before. Somehow he was able to get his legs in between himself and Galvatron and basically kicked him off of him. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he grows up.
And
He's
I
all
guess
grown
we
up.
could just talk about it. Why he changes form?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one that does. The only one in any of the at least G1 cartoon that ever changes form when he gets the Matrix.
I mean, who else have we seen get them? I mean, we saw Ultramagnus.
Ultramagnus.
He did not change form. He
Optimus-
could barely fit the thing inside his chest hole.
Exactly. I mean, Optimus Prime, doesn't. This one is like you could shoehorn it in because Optimus Prime doesn't change form when he takes the Matrix out, whereas in season 3, Hot Rod or Rodimus reverts to Hot Rod whenever he takes the Matrix out. But I mean, you could argue, I guess, Prime is dying, so it doesn't change. But also, whenever he changes from Orion Pax and is made by Alpha Trion into Optimus,
Right.
it's you could say that he gave him the Matrix at that point, which seems quite ridiculous,
Right.
But, so it's just like then my question becomes like, do the Autobots know that the leader changes when you get the Matrix? Because then Ultramagnus will be like, oh. What?
Why did that change?
Nothing
Why-
happened.
yeah, why
I
did that
must be
change?
perfect.
Yeah.
So, to your point, okay, we don't know if Ultra Trion just jammed the Matrix into Orion Pax and then he came out looking like Optimus Prime. In fact, I think we assume that he fixed him, changed his name, but didn't give him,
Right.
he didn't have any leadership duties at that point.
Right, and he says in that episode that he's making them into battle-hardened bodies, I think.
Okay.
So basically he's creating new bodies
Right.
that are able to fight the Decepticons.
Gotcha. So, yeah, so why is this necessary other than to give him a trailer and sell 2 toys instead of 1?
I mean, I think there's that, but also I think for the purposes of symbolism, the purposes
Sure.
of writing, we can all assume that they're really driving home that he's maturing, and
Right.
For the purpose of the movie, I think it works, yeah, because it's a visual of, like, now he's different, but it's just, in the mythology of the universe, it's strange.
And maybe it could be that, I mean, Hot Rod is still relatively young, but he obviously is chosen by the Matrix in a way that
And-
Ultramagnus wasn't. So perhaps it's the wisdom that's contained within the Matrix that's just being transferred over to him in physical form.
That's another argument I read that is like the Matrix chooses the leader, so that's why Ultramagnus doesn't change. But also, then again, you
Why did was Optimus Prime never supposed to be
can
the leader?
Rodimus also transform into a car?
He does not. He's just a truck.
What is he? So
Or he's a car that pulls a trailer.
Yeah,
So
but I
when-
don't think they can separate.
so when he
Can they?
So but how does he leave Unicron?
We'll get to that in
we're
a
not there
soon,
yet.
soon
We can
minute.
cut this out, but my point is does he transform into a car when he drives out of Unicron?
No. He turns into his new automobile form.
You can cut all this out. Sorry.
Okay, it's all good. A couple things. This seems like a good point to talk about some of the physical differences between Hot Rod and Rodimus Prime. I looked at a few different animation models. First of all, there's the 30% growth in length and girth, as Ryan said. He
Just
gets,
like all those advertisements tell me I can.
he gets THICC. His face fills out a little bit. He grows more mature. He has these kind of signature wisdom lines that are on his face now that he didn't have previously. His back wings, in the animation models, and I don't have these pulled up, sorry guys. In the animation model, his back wings become longer at the sides, and it's less angular, but they didn't really reflect that in any of the actual animation that I could find. But his shoulders get broader. They lose sort of a more childlike, slumpish appearance. And the best part is that his crotch gets bigger.
So he grows where it matters.
His big old waist area, his ratio gets a lot bigger.
RC will be pleased.
his on the animation, it's hard to tell in the movie. I think maybe there is a slight color difference in the movie, but in his animation model and in season 3 episodes, he's a slightly different color.
Yeah.
Hot Rod's red is a little bit more on the purplish scale. Dare I say fuchsia?
Puce?
While Rodimus Prime is a bit more classic red with kind of darker brownish tonalities.
I like the Rodimus model. I like how
I do
bulky
too.
he is.
No, he looks he looks very cool as Rodimus, commanding and leader worthy. Dare I say?
You paused it here at 1:16:22, and in about 2 seconds, I love this. I think it's probably a happy accident, but right after Stan Bush sings "Yeah," Galvatron says "No."
Oh wow, I'm sure it's a total happy accident.
Yeah, it has to be, but I just noticed that in watching this last night, and then fires his arm cannon at Rodimus.
So at this point, as Ryan's saying, he aims his cannon, pops out a handful of blasts, which nail Rodimus right in the torso, but do no damage. Finally, one of the blasts hits the Matrix directly, knocks it out of Rodimus' hands.
I always felt like it hit his hand, but I guess
You think it's the Matrix or the hand? Let's take a look. It could be the hand.
it could be 6 of one, half dozen of the other, and then the Matrix flies. I like the angular, squared-off shine that it makes on the floor. It doesn't really make much sense, but I like it.
No, I think it looks great. I'm wondering, I guess, why no damage at all? I mean, did the Matrix...
power of the Matrix.
Was the Matrix providing a temporary shield?
I think
Because,
so.
people can hold the Matrix and get damaged, as we've seen.
Right, but he's activating it somehow.
That's true.
That
is true.
That we've seen no one else do.
That's true. It is active. It's not dormant, if
And-
you will.
That's right.
Yeah, I feel like he's bathed in Matrix power, which is one, why he's invulnerable to the blast, and why he's so strong here in a second. But there's also some of this in the comic, where in the movie adaptation in the comic book, Optimus Prime uses the Matrix to destroy Unicron and is just killed himself at the same time, but he's still alive for a few minutes on falling back to Cybertron because they literally say he was bathed in Matrix energy, which is why he's still alive.
Nice.
Gotcha. And then he gives the leadership to Grimlock. Or something. No, he says, tell Grimlock, I'm sorry.
Something, I can't
I
remember.
can't remember either. And I just read those.
Tell Grimlock, suck it.
I never liked him.
So at this point, Rodimus delivers an excellent point at Galvatron, and which I love this
It's a great
illustration here. Great hand. His hand has become more squared off as well.
I do like the squared fingers. This is also a hand position that I used to draw endlessly. Not necessarily a Transformer hand, but just anybody. I would do that.
It's kind of a fun angle.
And I know, okay, so...
And not that tough to draw.
Yeah, we're here at 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 33 seconds where he speaks as Rodimus. And I understand, of course, his voice isn't going to be different. But even as a kid, the fact he doesn't talk like Rodimus in the cartoon and his voice is still kind of, Judd Nelson's voice is not that deep. And so I felt like Hot Rod's voice coming out of Rodimus's mouth was weird for me.
But you can tell that they try to gruff it up.
He does, but...
A little bit. Especially in a later minute, I think it's more evident than in right here at this moment
It's
where
true.
he says this is the end of the road, Galvatron. But I think they try to put some rasp on that shit.
Yeah.
Are his arm pipes bigger too?
I don't know that they're
are
bigger
more
proportionately.
more pronounced, or
He's got 3 Megatron-sized fusion cannons on his arms. I don't think they necessarily are.
now he catches 6 fish.
That's great.
That's great.
So at this point,
Big callback right there.
yeah, way back into the depths.
Go back and listen to episode 12.
So he charges Galvatron at this point, and I guess you can get a sense of what his exhaust cannons look like at this point. They get into a little scuffle here.
A hugging match.
They grapple. Galvatron swings a left hook and misses. Hang on, we'll get to see that here in a second. Left
I
hook.
feel like he connected.
Left
'cause-
hook miss. Oh, you think so?
Well, Rodimus's head jerked,
Yeah.
and I felt like he just shrugged it off.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think he's just so strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess it did hit him.
Yeah.
Well, he's about to also throw a right cross. I feel like he didn't connect on that one either. Let's see.
Yeah,
I think he missed on
that
it.
was a miss.
Okay, missed on his right cross. And then Rodimus picks Galvatron up over his head and throws him. It's got to be 100 feet.
He
if
throws
not
him
more.
so hard.
He blasts through Unicron's side.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's funny.
I'm sorry I find it so humorous.
Watching you laugh at it when we were watching it earlier, it was great.
It's pretty weird.
Let me watch it again real quick. I just want to see this.
It's kind of humorous.
So he throws him 100 or more feet through the interior lining of whatever fucking
I mean, given they're
organ
probably
we are
30
in.
feet tall, it's got to be like 100 yards.
Yeah.
Is Unicron made of like ceramic?
That was just a really weak point. Yeah, it's like very thin skin right
And maybe
there.
he's a little weakened because the Matrix has been activated. We can come up
yeah.
with some more.
I'm just saying, Galvatron. I'm surprised Galvatron wasn't just pulverized as he
just squished.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
true.
I'm trying to figure out. I was trying to break this down and see if this offered any clues as to where the hell they are inside
I
of
felt
him.
like stomach area. and
Yeah, that's
the,
what I'm
like
thinking.
the kidney,
like
kidney region.
abdomen or so kidney. I think those are all good, as good a guesses as any. I suppose.
In the script, that's where they are.
Okay, all right. Well, Galvatron pierces Unicron's flesh. He leaves a bright purple explosion in his wake. From the force of the hurl, Galvatron flies through space, screaming, unable to take control of his direction or slow down. And by 1649, he's fallen off the screen.
He's out of this
Presumably
movie.
never to be seen again.
Rodimus threw him out of the movie.
Really what happened. And so back to Rodimus, continuing to hold the Matrix in his iconic kettlebell to the chest pose. Close up on the Matrix itself, which now miraculously has finger holsters.
It randomly has them in the movie.
And he slips his fingers in those holster. Guys, I feel like our darkest hour is about to get lit the fuck up.
I realize this part is very important, obviously, to the movie, but and so clearly they put effort into it. But the animation on these parts is so cool.
Oh, it's great.
It's so good, like slipping his fingers into the holes and.
They better be good.
Well, that's what
The lighting effects.
That's what I wrote down. Is like, how bad would it have sucked if they're really rushed at the end of the movie and it's just cuts to black and white wireframe.
I would say there's a couple pieces in some upcoming minutes that are phoned in a little
absolutely.
bit. But this part is
shot,
not. This part is great. The lighting effects are great. The
I'll say
shading is
this:
great.
everything inside Unicron's good. Everything outside Unicron, not so good.
Gets a little rough. But on our last few seconds here of the minute, he opens up the Matrix, pulls the casing away from the core, if you will, and with real determination, he says, "Now light our darkest hour."
It's not floating. There's a wire in there that's holding it.
Oh, okay.
Is there really?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No. I always thought it floated.
See?
Well, okay.
See that line?
I don't think they needed to do that, but whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess. I never thought it floated.
Wow. There is a little wire
It's
there.
like a children's toy.
Yeah, it'd be like boing boing.
It does look, it's like a Suzanne Summers workout
I gotta
accessory.
say, I don't like that. I don't
Really?
like the
I was hoping
wire.
it would
Oh,
glow.
I never thought it floated, so I guess that's never bothered. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I'm really
Maybe
disturbed by that.
Maybe it's because it's totally introducing me to
I
something
mean,
never
I guess
did.
even as a kid, I was just so observant.
Great person.
As you're,
You're a great person.
I just, all I'm imagining now is watching this and being on the floor. Like,
Yeah, well, let's all get down there.
yeah.
So, a quick discussion I'd like. Hot Rod definitively kicked Galvatron's ass, but you definitely should never think, oh, that guy's never going to be back again.
Well, that
Galvatron?
They just
Yeah.
pulled the classic Darth Vader move right there.
Sure. It is, I guess, yeah. Another homage to Star Wars, or an homage to, we don't want to create a whole new villain and a whole new toy to sell between now and season 3, I guess. I mean, Hot Rod would know better than anybody that you need to fucking murder a Decepticon leader, or it's going to come back to you.
I don't think he was real aware of just how strong he was when he threw him through.
Right, he just wanted
He's
to
bounce against the wall.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit.
Oh shit!
Well, I
I
guess back to this Matrix business.
Yeah.
Right. And the only other thing is, I guess we can just take it as Galvatron was shook from this display of power. But we saw him use his arm cannon to kind of to propel himself earlier in the movie. So I feel like he should have been able to kind of be like, get back in the action.
Here's how I think it should have played out. He throws Galvatron, and Galvatron just flies through a series of rooms of Unicron. As to kind of recap, he'll like fly by like Daniel and all of them, the lava vat area.
I think one of these rooms should
and
just be a lady in a shower. Like,
yes.
Porky style,
exactly
and she pulls
right.
the curtain.
Yeah. Just flies back through all of the scenes that we've seen inside Unicron so far.
Oh man, if I had the time to make that kid.
I know.
that
would be great. Somebody make that for
Yeah,
us.
there's the there's the
I
chomping,
felt like he was
everything.
unconscious.
Yeah.
That's how I frame it. That's why he can't stop himself.
Got beat the fuck up.
I just think they needed to get him out of this movie. Move on.
We gotta wrap this up.
And wrap it up and wrap it out.
I guess that brings us to my favorite part of the show.
Deviations.
So this is Aaron speaking, and as most people know, I do my deviations first, as it is a draft that is pretty close into what we see on screen, but still has some interesting little tidbits. And Ryan's version typically is a little bit more unhinged, as it is an early Friedman draft.
Do you think anyone is tuning in for episode 77 and that's the first one they listen to? That would be amazing.
I like how he always.
I
sets
like
up.
it too. That just made me think of like we set it up, and I like the intro of it. It's just like
I definitely think there's
it's
people.
it's a very series driven podcast.
Sure, but I do think that there's people that are stepping into this in certain parts.
I think so too. I know a lot of people, especially even on like on established podcasts, they'll listen to a recent episode and then go back if they liked it and listen to the older ones. But
I've done that.
yeah. Anyway, it just makes me think of that every time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I only do it because I'm self-conscious about I don't remember who gave the critique around
That our voices are the same.
Caleb has the most beautiful voice, a beautiful under.
I'm comforted by how you always set it up the same way, and that makes me feel good.
It makes me feel safe.
Yeah, it does.
So, in my version of the script, Hot Rod's transformation begins during the grappling match with Galvatron. So he starts actually kind of growing while he is grappling and has his hands on the Matrix. And he does it as he's almost dead, but his hand still grasps the Matrix from his chest. The Matrix lights up, and then it says that Hot Rod grows at an alarming rate. Age shows on his face.
Alarming!
He's stronger and wiser. And they just kind of omit the separation of them. So he just becomes Rodimus Prime while he's fighting with Galvatron, and they don't really make a big moment of him separating from them. Sorry, that wasn't very interesting the way I presented
okay.
that.
No, I'm
Cut
listening.
that right out.
No, I'm listening.
This script does clarify that he throws Galvatron through Unicron's side, and he sticks his hand in the Matrix. We saw that the way it mentions the way he puts his hand in the Matrix, and then it also refers back to the Ultra Magnus shock that he got. You may recall. Because he's not meant to open it. He did not get the shock.
OMG.
He did not get the shock. And this is a little bit into the next minute, but I don't want to lose it. This is just a great line from the script. It says, then, like pulling the pin on a hand grenade, he unleashes the spiritual equivalent of a bomb.
That's weird.
That's a
weirdly
analogy.
phrase. Yeah, that doesn't work, but whatever.
I like it.
All right.
I think it works.
I just like it.
I would have said atom bomb. Like a bomb can be big or small. I would have said like an atom bomb.
But
Why not a
it's
hydrogen bomb?
What? You sure?
Sure.
But it's
Isn't
like-
a hydrogen bomb just a bitter atom bomb?
No, it's not actually.
Fuck, I don't know anything.
They're different.
It's
It's a fusion bomb
Yeah.
as opposed to a
It's
fission bomb.
It's much more powerful than an atom bomb, and they function differently.
They're completely different destructive weapons.
They
Yes.
are, and actually, they pretty much use an atom bomb to
start
trigger a hydrogen bomb.
Yeah, which is fucking badass.
Imagine a hydrogen. Basically, the analogy, the imagine for a hydrogen bomb is taking a piece of the sun and putting it on the surface
Right.
of the Earth.
Yeah. Weirdly, not as much fallout with a hydrogen bomb.
No.
Sweet.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's drop more of them.
Yep.
Ryan, what's in your script?
Okay, this one's a little lengthy this minute, and it jumps around for the next couple of episodes, so I've kind of just arbitrarily cut it off, because Galvatron's in the next couple of episodes I'm going to read about, but because it's pretty different. So if you remember, whenever we left off in episode 76, basically Hot Rod and Galvatron are grappling, and instead of a physical matrix, there is Galvatron is wearing a bottle with Optimus Prime's like little life spark essence inside of it. So they're grappling, and Hot Rod says, "I've been waiting for this. It's a weird line. We see a small life spark of Optimus Prime, and it starts to glow and pulse. Hot Rod, it's the life spark of Optimus Prime." And then as the glow of the life spark illuminates his face, you hear the voiceover of Optimus Prime.
You have put behind you the ways of childhood. Be the Autobot you were created. That's my Galvatron voice. be the Autobot you were created to be. And then he is bathed in the glow of electrical effect playing on his form. And Optimus voiceover, stand for the light. Rise, Rodimus Prime.
And then Galvatron falls as Hot Rod drops him and stands in the full glowing light and changes the mature form of Rodimus Prime. Mature in appearance now, he feels his face.
It's got stubble.
Yeah. And his voice
Check his pubes.
Yeah, he looks in his pants. Oh my
Oh,
gosh!
shit.
It's a big
My
moment.
inner John piece. And then his voice is deeper and resonant. I am Rodimus Prime now, which is a less than stellar line.
Yeah.
And then Galvatron, furious with a blaster in his hand, and clearly, okay, Galvatron has no arm cannon apparently, because he keeps using blasters and knives, and it's never mentioned that he has an arm cannon. Anyway, furious, blaster in hand. What good is a name to a dead Autobot? Which is a great line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then he fires at Rodimus, and the blast drives him back, and Galvatron throws himself on him, kicking, clawing, rolling over, and breaking through transparent tissue-like membrane.
Ah, yes, because of the ingestors.
Yeah, falling into a cavernous space filled with gushing acid geysers and rivers.
Nice.
And we go pull out to Ingester, where, as with a roar, he plucks Grimlock and Sludge off his leg, holds them aloft, trapping and squirming, says, "Parasites! Arrgh!" Throws them aside, crumpled and bellowing. Then we're on Daniel RC and Ultra Magnus on the horn of Ingester as they cling to the base of it, trying to keep behind it so that he can't see them. I don't know how he'd see him if they're on his head, but Ultra Magnus says, "He's too powerful. Unless Hot Rod can do something, I'm afraid we're finished." Ingester roars and turns back to Cybertron. And then we cut back inside to Ingester, where basically Galvatron and Hot Rod are fighting. And then they roll into a cavern where the moons of Cybertron hang in webbing as though webbed over in the digestion process. Also, there are space vehicles in various stages of decomposition, robots, planets, etc., etc., etc.
Weird.
Yeah. And Galvatron says, "You're mine now, Rodimus Prime." And then, as the staggered dizzy Rodimus falls back against the wall, Galvatron looms over him with a sharp shard of broken metal in his two hands like a broadsword, which he's ready to drive into Rodimus's chest. "Farewell!" And he races for the death blow, but then he looks up at Jazz and Cliffjumper are on the edge of their escape module, which is, I guess, in some of the webbing that's up there. And then Jazz and Cliffjumper blast at Galvatron with their sidearms, and Jazz shouts down, "Nail the sucker, Rod, baby! We're with you! Wow!"
I don't know why I didn't see that coming.
I was gonna make a joke, but it
No, you don't need to.
No.
Galvatron, I didn't like that part because it really takes the the ownership of but it also takes the ownership of beating Galvatron away from Rodimus. Like he has to be rescued basically. And then Galvatron falls back to get out of the way of the blasters, and as he does, Rodimus regains his feet and comes at him, starts clobbering Galvatron, driving him back with punch after punch, and he says, "My turn!" Then Galvatron reels back and collapses against the wall, and then as he is at Rodimus's mercy, Galvatron says, "Wait, would you extinguish me without knowing my name?" A brief beat, eyes narrowing triumphantly. "My true name is Megatron!"
Oh, what is this, like a reveal?
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess. But then
the viewer knows.
Yeah, so it's a weird reveal to Rodimus, but then it occurred to me, man, the Autobots probably don't know Galvatron's Megatron in the movie, do they?
Yeah. There's no reason. Oh, except for he says first Prime, now Ultra Magnus. Like
I guess that's
kind
true.
Of gloats to being
That's true.
behind all of their
Yeah.
issues.
I'm going to stop right there.
Okay.
Interesting.
Good one. That description of the webbing and the stuff in the webbing makes me think of when people cut open sharks and alligators or anacondas and find dead bodies and license plates and...
Does it? That's happened.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
Like every week.
all the time.
I don't know what week doesn't go by. Somebody's not cutting open an anaconda and finding a baby and a Wyoming license plate.
Yeah.
I feel like you've just watched Jaws recently.
I feel like this is a thing.
It is a thing.
not making it up.
Bull sharks, I think, in particular, are like the garbage scows of the sea. They'll just swallow anything, essentially.
Well, thanks for backing
I
me
don't know
up.
who's
No.
gutting all these fucking reptiles and fish. And
That
you're
part was a
apparently
joke.
watching it all the time.
All the time.
It is
love
creepy every now and again. You'll see, you'll come across a video as I do.
I
at
don't.
least,
I don't come.
Of where an anaconda has like swallowed a kid or something,
God.
and you can see the stretched out humanoid form
I don't
inside
wanna-
the snake.
Just like you can see the dick inside. Like
No,
stretching the-
I'm not liking any of this at all.
I try to remember what that subreddit is called. It's called.
There's a.
Anyway, whatever.
just trolling YouTube for vivisection of animals, hoping to find a baby.
Good lord.
Around a while. We can.
I'm the ghost of the iconic moment.
You know.
Caleb, do you have an iconic moment?
How could you not choose the?
What's on screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can I not?
I feel
Oh no, I take that back. I love Galvatron getting tossed out of the through the wall.
Honestly, that's
mine.
what I have down
That's
here.
mine.
Because that moment is referred to several times in the series after, like, the season 3. Like, they show clips of that scene, not randomly, like at chosen times, but like of that happening. And so I feel like you see it over and over again.
I could watch it over and over.
I don't know why
Somebody
you liked it
please
so much.
make that gif of Galvatron flying through Unicron, past a woman in a shower.
Past a couple other rooms.
Yeah.
Maybe Daniel and Spike.
For me, the iconic moment is when you hear Optimus's voiceover, like because
Yeah,
you haven't heard
that's
him
good.
in the movie since like minute 25.
That's good. That is a good one. Peter Cullen finished his recording. That was the last thing he recorded, probably, and a tear fell from his eye as he walked out the recording studio that day.
and went to the bank.
He seems like a really genuinely sweet guy. Like of all the interviews and stuff I've watched of him, and at cons and stuff, he seems like a really cool dude. Like I watched an interview, or not an interview, but him at a con talking about I can't remember if it was some job he was going in on maybe like I don't know if it was with Frank Welker or not, but something. Basically, he was reading a part and like oh no, I don't think it was Frank Welker, maybe it was somebody else. But he was reading a part and like he was talking to the producers about why he was reading this part because some other actor had done it previously, and they basically essentially told him they didn't want to pay him what the actor was wanting, and he said he walked out. And I thought that was a classy move.
Wow. Yeah, he does definitely seem like a good guy. Like, just I've never heard him say any. I've heard a few different voice actors. I was actually listening to some actors. You hear some actors talk shit about other actors, and this guy's a class act, though.
Yeah.
Peter Cullen's a class act.
Next time on the Autopod Decepticast.
Like pulling the pin on a hand grenade, Rodimus unleashes the spiritual equivalent of a bomb. Yes, friends, there will be explosions galore as we cover the 87th minute. Wait a minute.
Oh my God!
What?
We have a special edition. Breaking news.
What? Yes, friends, there will be explosions galore as we cover the 77th minute of the Is that right?
78th. Good Lord. What? How late was it when you were making this?
No, I made this 2 weeks ago. Yes, friends, there will be explosions galore as we cover the 78th minute of Transformers the movie.
Nailed it.
Except I didn't say the Transformers the movie.
Fuck.
So, hey, quick reminder, TFCon, USA, October 26th through 28, Crown Plaza, Chicago.
Mike Seibert.
Be there, we'll be there. Mike Seibert will be there.
Yeah.
Listen to our show continually. And there's only like...
On repeat.
like Galvatron flying through the air.
just hitting walls and going into other rooms and spaces. I think that in that animation, yes, we do need them flying past the woman in a shower.
Yes.
We need him flying past other scenes. Then I think he needs to be flying past a
Mount
scene.
Rushmore.
That's good. That's good.
Also, I think flying past a scene of him and Hot Rod fighting.
He's going backwards in the movie.
Over dead Optimus.
Love it. So listen to the show, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and TuneIn. Follow us on our social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all of them at Autopod Decast. And, of course, the web presence, autopoddecepticast.com. I'm sure there's going to be a cold-hearted snake
Absolutely, after I finish jacking it.
If this GIF gets made, that's definitely going to not be up there because it will not get made.
I'll make a video of the way I used to masturbate and put that up.
Oh, God.
Make it like an illustration, like how you an airplane safety.
Oh,
illustration.
perfect. That
done
is
and
perfect.
done.
Yeah, you go.
All right, iTunes users, rate and subscribe. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Cold-hearted snake.
This is where they connect to your body.
Right. If you had elbows on your latissimus dorsi,
Yes.
and then just went up in a creepy kind of way.
I only know the latissimus dorsi because of the movie Dr. Detroit.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Howard Hessman
Have I seen that movie?
grabs him at one point and he says, "You're too stressed." And he goes, "Oh, yes, my latissimus dorsi."
What was Dr. Detroit?
It's pretty fucking crazy. It's Dan Aykroyd plays like a collegiate professor who gets pulled into this web with a pimp and his sex workers, and the pimp gets indebted to this rival mob boss called Mom, who is a woman.
This sounds familiar.
Like Howard Hessman skips town and leaves Dan Aykroyd in charge, and so he has to put on this persona called Dr. Detroit, where he has like a claw arm and a wig, a fright wig, and he talks like this: "Oh, Mom." And he walks like a kind of a limp.
Wow.
It is a crazy movie. And he has to go get one of the sex workers out of jail at one point, and he plays like a country lawyer. Now I'm just I'm a son of the South, because the judge is like a Southern guy.
I guess anything went back then.
It was like 83 or something like that when that came out.
Well, remember, let's not forget Dan Aykroyd's stint in blackface in the movie Trading Places.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. It is problematic in today's climate.
Yeah.
Or any climate, really.
What's that movie he's in with Chevy Chase? And it's like a weird,
Nothing But Trouble.
Is that it?
It's
a
where
weird.
Dan Aykroyd plays an old man.
Yes.
It's Nothing But Trouble.
It's a disturbing movie.
It's a terrible film. It has 6% on Rotten Tomatoes.
You guys love it, though.
I do like it.
I like it because it's the first screen appearance of a young
Demi Moore?
MC from Oakland from New York via Oakland.
Tupac's in it
Shakur.
because it's got
Digital Underground.
Digital
Yeah.
Underground in it.
Let's see if we can find that. So Tupac doesn't even rap, I guess, in the
No, he
movie
just
part.
was
They
singing.
cut his part out.
And he's got a New York shirt on. I thought he was West Coast.
Well, he's
West
from
Coast.
New York originally. He just was like, Cali, baby.
Penis
Why
nose.
were they there at the house?
The band?
Yeah.
I think they got pulled over the same way the Chevy Chase and his group did.
But they did the song and
they let him go. He doesn't like bankers, I'll tell you that.
Blow cells, where we sell good.